Two more right around the corner and not able to find any of it. Can't find Kyler do it. He's got it down to a 1v1. The swing out is there, and Derek responds.
Have you ever heard the term a win is a win after winning a scrappy round? In this video, I'm going to show you how that really isn't true, and how a big mistake, despite your team winning the round, can have major ramifications for the rest of the match. This is exactly what happened in the first map of the VCT Americas inaugural match between Sentinels and 100 Thieves. For better context leading up to this key round, let's first break down the rounds leading up to this big moment. This map was a perfect representation for how the rest of the series went. The IGLs went back and forth with creative strategies which were constantly adjusted throughout the game. 100 Thieves start the map on attack and use Sky utility to clear out A main. Instead of rushing and making sound A main, 100 Thieves walk up as far as they can so they can safely clear past the A main danger zone. It also gives them a surprise timing to pop onto site. Sentinels didn't kill the dog, likely trying to bait 100 Thieves into fighting a stacked site, since you can tell there are 4 members hovering A while KJ is solo anchoring the B site. But for some reason, Sentinels have no one playing close to the site, and all positions are too far away from challenging people running out of A main. Tens and Sacy get punished for being in half-committed positions as a result of the awkward 4-stack but we're actually playing retake strategy. 100 Thieves are very efficient with their site take utility, so they have a lot left for a strong post plant. Despite insane heroics from Zekin, utility stall took too much time off the bomb and 100 Thieves take the round.
And there's not a ton left, but that's the problem. Oh my gosh, if they get the kills, they're still going to have to get the defuse. He's gotten it to half. Dirk's gonna have to swing. Oh my gosh!
100 Thieves play a slow second round against Sentinels Eco to make sure they don't get caught by aggression from Sentinels. They take their time working the south side of the map, while Stellar holds for info on the north side with his utility. He makes sure to place his utility deep enough and stay near the rope so he can make a quick escape in the event of an aggressive push. 100 Thieves take A in the same way again, walking up A main with Sky utility and opt for deeper smokes this round so they can take advantage of their stronger guns. Sentinels were stacked B for their eco, so the round is pretty unwinnable after a free plant. They just decide to go for exits, and a good attempt is made using a timing to open the door, but 100 Thieves still saves 2 rifles into their bonus anyway. One thing to note here is that Sentinels have completely adopted the half armor strategy that Fnatic used to win lock-in. I made another video about that linked in the description. Technically, this is not a good round to use this strategy, as they're up against a bonus round where enemies have SMGs which are better at punishing half armor. Sentinels fight for dish control this round, and Zekin wins a key gunfight against Cryo while being pressured by Breach Util. This grants him his ult, which gives Sentinels a strong option into this round. Since Sentinels are heavily stacked towards dish, 100 Thieves come out of A main and take site. With their gun and player disadvantage, 100 Thieves know they need to make something happen and try to play around defender spawn, since many Sentinels members were spotted dish. Zekin ults out past the Brimstone ult to kill the bomb planter, and the chaos breaks apart the great setup 100 Thieves had to fight defender spawn. Stellar on KJ swings too early and dies while Bang's attention is now onto site, so the crossfire with Sky was broken. It was a good setup from 100 Thieves, but one very close duel with Zekin resulted in the round-winning play from him with his ult. In the first fair rifle round of the match, we see Sentinels get punished again for lack of info into the main areas of the map. 100 Thieves just walk up B main with no utility used. Cryo actually had 2 kills here, and it should have been the round, but didn't realize he saw Zekin boosted on Jen, who trades him back. The round ends with 100 Thieves rotating A, but they spent too much time in the round and can't get the bomb down in time. Again, I want to point out that we see the half armor buys coming out from Sentinels against 100 Thieves Eco. I would still recommend buying full armor against Eco rounds specifically, but they close out the round anyway. In the next round, 100 Thieves run the same 4-1 setup where Killjoy holds the other side for information on pushes. By now we can see how much 100 Thieves really values the south side of the map, and this will be important to remember when 100 Thieves swaps to defense. Sentinels realizes that they need to pressure into the main areas of the map to prevent the walk-up plays that punish them in earlier rounds. Killing the dog early denies free information from 100 Thieves, and support utility from Breach and Brimstone forces 100 Thieves to go the other way and run straight into an op setup, which is supported by KJ utility. Sentinels adapted well to 100 Thieves' slow play on offense, so let's see how 100 Thieves responds. Now down 5-2, 100 Thieves 5-man walk B main, while throwing the Sky Flash into A main, making Sentinels think a similar play was happening. This keeps 3 members on A while 100 Thieves take B side control and set up for the KJ ult. This gets a free plant and strong post plant situation, with mollies from KJ and Brim as well as Brim ultimate. A good adaptation from 100 Thieves as a result of the A main pressure from Sentinels. In the next round, we see the exact trap 100 Thieves have been setting up for on their default. Sentinels decide to do a fast arcade and dish crunch, a classic, but they run into KJ utility on both sides at the same time, which prompts Stellar to take the rope back immediately. 100 Thieves speed up on the other side and take A. As expected, the dish players can't make it out onto site fast enough to beat the timing, and Sacy gets traded while alone on site, which has pretty bad implications for their retake. The KJ ult from Sand sets up the retake and Sentinels defend it well, eventually ending up in Stellar getting detained. Stellar is just barely too slow to kill the diffuser and Sentinels take the round.
Stellar, can he pull off the clutch? He's just trying to hold it back, but he's got to swing it out! There's no way!
We see an inversion of the default setup from 100 Thieves in the next round on their eco. They start with some A main pressure, but eventually 4 take the rope to dish, with Stellar now holding B main and A main pushes. The reason this works is because Sentinels understood that the dish and arcade crunch play punished them in a previous round. Sentinels are expecting KJ utility to be there like before, because Sky still flashed into A main. Sentinels aren't going to be as eager to make that same crunch play in the future, and 100 Thieves know that, so they take advantage of it by walking up dish. They get too close again before Sentinels realize it and swarm Pankata, who is the only player on the site. 100 Thieves know that they can't play full post plant from A main with an op holding them, so they push Sands and it gives them enough control to win the round. The next round results in another dish walk-up, but with KJ ult this time to take the site. A Breach ult ripped into Sands and A main sets up a strong retake for Sentinels, but an awesome ult from Bang's Brimstone completely turns the play around and instead results in a kill for Stellar instead of ensured death. This play essentially ends any potential for a retake from Sentinels, as they opt to save. The final round of the half shows another dish walk-up play, but Sentinels make a deep play into A main with Zekken's Raze ult. He gets a double kill on both the main initiator and smokes player for 100 Thieves, and it pretty much shuts the door on the round. But 100 Thieves make a good attempt by rotating through defender spawn to try to catch the B anchor off guard. Unfortunately for them, Pankata sits patiently in tower the whole round and made sure to get his. Now the next half starts with Sentinels up 7-5. Now we see Sentinels on offense using that 4-1 setup that 100 Thieves used in their attack side, but with Pankata holding the A main and B main pushes, while the rest of Sentinels take control of dish and arcade. Again, when Pankata realizes he's getting pinched hard, he escapes on the rope just like Stellar, while the rest of Sentinels speeds up to take the site from dish. Now it's a full 5v5 retake, where 100 Thieves have control of A main. Sentinels are forced to think of another way to play and win their post plant. Zekken and Tens attempt an A main fight, but it was way too early on. Now Sentinels have to play 4v5 with weak post plant positions. Despite a good attempt from Tens holding door, Sentinels lose pistol. We see the exact same setups from both teams in the next round. Pankata holds the south side of the map while 100 Thieves crunch him hard. He escapes on the rope and Sentinels are again allowed to take B and get the bomb down. 100 Thieves play full 5v5 retake with B main control, and again, despite a crazy 3k from Tens, Sentinels misplay a 3v2 hard by giving 3 1v1s and 100 Thieves take the round. Now remember their attack side when I said 100 Thieves really value the south side of the map. We can really see that ideology translate into their defensive half, as they again crunch Pancada in the 5v1 for the third round in the row. They can see that Sentinels are not making the right plays to win the post plant and feel the retake positioning is superior when they trade north side fracture for south side fracture. This is objectively true, as A main, for example, gives a lot more options with sand control than Dish does. With Stellar playing a late lurk from spawn and Brimult clearing tower, 100 Thieves have a very strong retake, and Sentinels barely have any space to play from. 100 Thieves win their third round in a row doing the exact same thing. But finally, both teams adjust their strategies in this next round. 100 Thieves think that 3 rounds in a row is enough and fall back to a more passive setup, while Sentinels decide they need to take control of some of the main areas. They find they're able to walk up B main without resistance. When they don't hear the KJ util, they decide to keep it simple and execute B. Sacy gets a free kill spraying through the gen smoke, but Tens is baited to make an overplay when he hears Bang wildly spraying through the smoke. He swings on that timing, but Asuna was waiting for it. Now that it's a 4v4, it's not the worst thing in the world, but this time without B main control, 100 Thieves still win another retake. Sentinels attempt an A take with control from Dish in the following round, but continue to suffer without control of A main. Cryo has walked up so far up A main that he's out of range of the breach ult and kills Tens for free on the off angle. Again, without A main or Sans control, Sentinels get completely destroyed, dropping out of Dish. Sentinels light buy into the next round, and down 10-7, they go toward B main, which was one of their closest rounds this half. It looks like Pancada is about to ult B from under, but Sentinels make a great read. There isn't a point spending the KJ ult to take sight when they are on a weak buy and will probably lose the post plant fights with their gun disadvantage. Instead, they keep the KJ ult as their post plant play and take sight without it. Pancada drops the KJ ult after the bomb is planted and gives them exactly what they need to close out the round. Now at 10-8, an early play into A main from 100 Thieves results in a 1-for-1. Asuna falls back to site, and now it's Sentinels who are the ones that are afforded all the space to walk up A main. They decide to pop right into an execute. I'd suggest that 100 Thieves play more for info here and have Brimstone be the rotator to be able to smoke both sides, especially if Asuna is deciding to play site by himself and fight them coming out. The post plant goes well for Sentinels as they use Brimult to get within 1 round. Now at 10-9, 100 Thieves decide to play full retake on A with their Killjoy ult. Sky and Brim gather some early info but immediately fall back to hold their spawn so they don't get caught before the retake occurs. When Sentinels realize that the site is completely clear, they know 100 Thieves are setting up for the KJ ult retake. They make a great play to defend against the retake strategy. Tens takes contact Sands from under Dish. Then 2 people open the door and fight all of 100 Thieves now focused on Tens. This completely thwarts the retake attempt from 100 Thieves, and Sentinels have tied up the game again. Finally, we get to the most important round of the game. Let's take note of both team economies right now. 100 Thieves barely have any money and will be broke if they lose this round. Sentinels, on the other hand, have used the half armor strategy effectively to bolster their economy. They have no problem buying into the rest of this game. 100 Thieves realizes that they got all their rounds this half controlling the south side of the map. When Sentinels started to take control of A main and B main, they started winning rounds. 100 Thieves go back to their bread and butter, pushing out A main aggressively. They get 2 kills for free. Sentinels now know that they have no other choice but to run B this instant. They lost their smokes and only have one timing now to push forward. 100 Thieves give them sight and decide to play retake. They're in a great position after all. It's 5v3, they've won many rounds in this exact position, and it was without 2 free kills. They still have control of defender spawn and tower because of Stellar and his KJ utility. It's in this moment that Stellar makes a massive mistake. He peeks deep into Canteen way too early before his team has started to scale up B main. Now all of Sentinels can freely focus on B main, knowing they killed the solo lurker. What was originally a 5v3 with superior positioning turns into a 1v1 clutched by Derek.
2 more right around the corner, not able to find any of it. Can't find Kyler do it. He's got it down to a 1v1. The swing out is there, and Derek responds.
Now, it seems all good, right? 100 Thieves won the round, so they should be fine. A win is a win. Unfortunately, that's not the case. It's entirely reasonable to expect 100 Thieves to have saved at least 3 more guns in this round. If Stellar had just held his position and pushed out with his team, it's incredibly hard for the Canteen players to have even killed anyone. 3 rifles lost equates to 8,700 credits down the drain, and that isn't including the possible armor and utility that could be saved. Let me show you how this economy state, despite winning the round, doomed 100 Thieves in the rest of this game. 100 Thieves are now up 11-10, but have to play the next round with 2 bulldogs and half armor. They have no economy, so losing this round will mean an eco for them in the next round. Sentinels walk up B main again for the execute. The help doesn't come in time for Derek, who is alone on the site. 100 Thieves know the round is over, and they have to retake with an op, so they attempt to save but get hunted down. They lose all their guns and lose the round, breaking their economy completely. In the next round, they have an extraordinarily weak buy. The 8,700 creds could have helped them last round, but it would have also ensured a much stronger eco here, so keep that in mind as I play out this round. 100 Thieves goes for a dish trap setup to punish Sentinels if they decide to walk up. The setup works great as Sacy is left all by himself with 70 HP. Although 100 Thieves mess up their fight timings with Cryo still peeking while Asuna is ulting, Sacy still barely makes it out alive with the bomb. You can very easily imagine this trade going heavily in 100 Thieves' favor if any of these players had a better buy. 4 100 Thieves players are on pistols with no armor. Cryo especially had a classic no armor and was dueling Sacy at the end with 70 HP left. It's especially painful to see that Sacy is the one in the 2v2 retake to get both kills on sight. This round was as good as won if Sacy lost that final fight against Cryo in Dish. It would have ensured at least overtime for 100 Thieves in this map. Who knows what could have happened for the map or series if 100 Thieves hadn't made this crucial mistake at 10-10. Sentinels close out the map and go on to win the series. But this was a great example that lives lost and economy lost is always important, even if you ultimately win the round. I hope this makes you all think twice about chasing kills in a free round. You never know how much it could affect the outcome of the game, and it massively affected the outcome of this one. Let me know who you think will be at the top of the VCT Americas League when the season is over. Remember to subscribe to my channel, and as always, thanks for watching.